The Wrestling Fray.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jay Brown. Welcome to the Wrestling Fray. Welcome to another Fray 5 with another edition of 5 on 5. And who is our topic tonight?
It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control and if you can take it.
The cerebral assassin himself, Triple H. Now, as you might have seen last week on SmackDown, they're celebrating the 25th anniversary of his overall career. If you call that happened on Friday night anniversary. Anyway, I digress. So, normally I do 5 things I do like and 5 things I don't like. But given that it's his anniversary, I'm going to try to end on a good note. And not really have to start on a good note. So we're going to start with the 5 things that I do not like about Triple H. And we're going to start with number 5.
F that. If Brett doesn't want to do business, then we need to do business for him.
So he wasn't as big as a star back then yet, but he was one of the masterminds behind how the Montreal Screwjob went. Now, some say that he was the overall mastermind of it to begin with, but I don't know how accurate that is, so I'm not going to quote that per se. However, being that he has something to do with it, that's negative on his part in my book, especially when he wasn't that big of a star yet. And that's not all. Let's go to number 4.
Hunter or Triple H or whatever you choose to call yourself, Paul Levesque, whatever name you're using right now, Puffy. You're an asshole, and how dare you, after like 15 years, take a stab at me? I mean, like, what kind of person does that? What is your problem?
Yes, it's true. China's life went into a downward spiral after the WWE. I'm not saying that alone was Triple H's fault, but I can imagine your boyfriend cheating on you with the boss's daughter and then getting you fired from the company because of that situation did not help much. And the fact that they wouldn't induct her into the Hall of Fame because she allegedly did porn, even though you had a WWE champion or WWF champion back then that posed for Playgirl. Yeah, double standards big time. Anyway, number 3. Now, people often talk about John Cena burying talent, but Triple H been doing it long before. And the way he buried the talent is people who could have benefited both of their careers if he just put them over. But no, he just had to be on top each and every time. Even the stars that were established in other companies, he just had to appear dominant every time. If that ain't burying talent, I don't know what is. And one in particular is going to lead us right into number 2.
You see, the fact is, Booker, somebody like you doesn't get to be a world champion. You see, people like you don't deserve it. That's reserved for people like me. See, Book, that's where the confusion is. Your confusion is, see, you're not here to be a competitor. You're here to be an entertainer. That's what you do. You entertain people. Hell, you entertain me all the time. Go ahead, Book. Why don't you entertain? Go ahead. Do a little dance for me, Book. Dance? Go ahead. Give me one of those spinneroonies. Come on, book dance. Entertain me, that's your job.
There was absolutely nothing good about this program. I was a young adult when this was happening, and I look back at it and it makes me angry every time I even look at it. The fact that they had the racial undertones under there was no point in there, and then there was no payoff at all. If there was a Booker T victory that would have elevated them, then even then, none of that is acceptable. Yet, it was another chance to bury it in a very, very not so fun match. And for all that to happen, for a very flat match and the flat outcome, even when I look back at it now, I have the same thought. I don't understand it at all. And just when I didn't think things could get worse, the number one thing I do not like about Triple H.
Forget that. Put it out of your mind. It's not fucking wrestling. They should have fired the fucking idiot Triple H that did it. They should have fired the fucking people who wrote it. They should have fired the people that shot it. If, as a matter of fact, they should hire the people that watched it and so they could fire them. I saw it. I wasn't watching the program regularly then, so I don't know really how it came to be that way or if they followed up on it, but it was another embarrassing, sophomoric, bad taste, stupid car crash TV. Even though Russo was already gone, his stupidity lingered on, much like the smell of Harley Quinn's diarrhea when she gets an upset stomach. It lingers in the room even after you clean it up.
I have no words for that. I didn't even know how to feel about that whole segment. It was very disgusting. And I don't know who came up with that segment. Whoever came up with that segment, and the fact that Triple H was willing to go with it and everything, I have to admit, you are one sick son of a bitch. Okay. Glad I got all that out. So sometimes you just gotta let the negative vibes go. Anyways, now we're at the point where we talk about the 5 things that I do like about Triple H. Let's start with number 5.
I mean, they did everything they could to screw with me. Gave me the worst matches possible. Gave me lame referees. They booked me against guys that I had to carry. They took me out of the main event matches and put me in the opening card matches. They cut all my angles on TV. They stopped me from having any hopes at going for titles or belts, or I was held back in the hardest possible.
I can't even imagine having to suffer for what an entire group has done. I mean, usually when you get on the company's bad side and they bury you, you're not going anywhere. We see it even nowadays today. People constantly getting buried over something that happened or something the company doesn't see in them or whatever. One thing about Triple H, he did not let that stop him. He just kept with it, and if he decided to quit and go back to WCW or whatever, there will be no way he will be the superstar he is today. He is the superstar he is today because he had a big push coming into the company, and then he got pushed right back down, pushed his way back up, and he became the game. Now, honestly, there's no way you can't respect Triple H for that. After all that he endured, he caught the brunt of the punishment, and he worked his way back in the favor of Vince McMahon. So, can't fault the man for that. Number 4.
My previous quad tear was my left leg. It was something very simple. I just planted my foot and the quad just exploded. I felt it roll all up my leg. It was very painful. Basically, I was out for 9 months. I was told I might never wrestle again.
Okay, so that video showed you how one of the ways Triple H got injured. What it did not show you was what happened after he got injured in that match. Now, as bad as his injury was, and it put him on the shelf for more than 6 months, he could easily just rolled out to the ring and let the doctors help him. But no, he busted tore his knee, and he took a Walls of Jericho on the announcer's table, and then he finished the match. This dude finished the match when he was well in pain. He didn't have to do that. That is the heart of a warrior right there. Triple H got my respect for that whole ordeal. And the thing is, he was a heel at the time. He still got my respect, because name 5 people that'll do that today. You probably can. But I guarantee you, Triple H is one of a kind, just for the heart that he shows. Number 3.
Are you ready? No, shut down! I said, are you ready? Then, for the thousands in attendance, for the millions watching around the world, and for Cody and Ted, because they are a great team. They are great partners. They're like the WWE's version of Siegfried and Roy. And boys, this Sunday, you're looking at the 2 white tigers that are going to be hanging off your jugulars. Let's get ready to suck it!
When I think of the Attitude Era, 3 superstars or groups come to mind: Austin, Rock, and Degeneration X. They brought some of the funniest moments that I still laugh about today. I think one of my favorite was when they were at the University of South Carolina and they was talking about Cocky and Vince. I still look at that video and I still laugh at it. So when him and Shawn Michaels came up with this group, I think it made their friendship even stronger, and it gave us some unforgettable moments on TV. I can't speak. Alright, number 2. The WWE is no stranger to severed relationships. I mean, I don't think Macho Man ever came back. But still, Triple H was responsible for repairing 2 of those severed relationships to 2 larger-than-life superstars who were able to join the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, they both passed. May they rest in peace. But he repaired the relationship between Vince McMahon and Ultimate Warrior, and also between Vince McMahon and the longest reigning world champion in WWE history, Bruno Sammartino. Now, how accurate that is, I don't know the full details, but from what I understand, it was Triple H that stuck out the olive branch to get it done. So sometimes business is business, but relationships are important. And the number 1 thing about Triple H that I like:
We are NXT!
I guess you can say this is somewhat of a rebuttal to the golden shovel thing I did on the don't like side. Triple H has brought over a lot of talent, and he has pushed a lot of young talent into superstars, even to the point that NXT is not even a developmental brand anymore. It's officially the 3rd brand. When NXT came on, it brought a more pure feel to the WWE, at least for me. Now, we know WWE is entertainment, but you know, when you get people from other walks of life, whether it be England, Japan, mix all that up with athleticism, storyline, Triple H was the architect for all of that, and he did a very good job. And honestly, you can't be mad at all the bearing when he's making up for it with, and he's learning the business very well. So Triple H, he can do a lot of things, man. And I look forward to see what he's going to do with the WWE in the future if it does come to that. So that is my 5 things that I do like. So those of you who have watched the 5-on-5 with Brock Lesnar that I did, or any 5-on-5s, you notice that, or any Fray 5s at all, you notice that I did a little something different with the video this time. I tried to talk less and show more content, and I figured content and just a little bit of news is what you guys want, and I'm here to serve. Anyway, if you like the video, please please subscribe to get everything we're doing in the wrestling fray, whether it be me or Jimmy on the other side. We look forward to bringing more content to you guys. All right, y'all be safe out there, man, for real. I know some states are opening back up or whatever, and whether you believe in this whole thing or not, be safe and think of others. Love y'all. Good night.